In previous videos, I've been talking about the four fundamental forces, and I've only done three of them: gravitational, electromagnetic, and strong. But today we're going to be talking about the weak force. But this subject might be a little hard to understand for some viewers, but I'll try to make it simple. Within the weak force, there are two types of force carriers known as the W and Z boson, but we'll talk more about those in another video. Within the nucleus, we know there's the neutrons and the protons. But within those two particles, there are elementary particles known as quarks. Both the neutron and the proton have 3 quarks, but in total there are actually 6 quarks. There are the top, bottom, charm, strange, up and down, but the protons and neutrons only have the up and down quarks. Within the neutron, there are 2 down quarks and 1 up quark. But within the proton, there is 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. But where does the weak force relate in all of this? Well, sometimes where new elements are made, sometimes a proton has to become a neutron or a neutron becoming a proton. But in order for that to happen, one of its quarks has to become the opposite quark. For example, within the neutron, 1 down quark has to become an up quark, therefore being 2 up quarks and 1 down quark, thus transforming into a proton. The same is for a proton. In order for it to become a neutron, 1 up quark has to become a down quark, therefore being 2 down quarks and 1 up quark, therefore transforming into what? A neutron. But in order for this transformation to occur, there is actually very minimal amount of energy that is required. That's why it's called the weak force, because the amount of effort to utilize that amount of energy is very small and very minimal. Or basically very weak. That's why it's called the weak force. To summarize, the weak force is basically the mediator in the transformation of quarks and the transformation of nucleons, such as the protons and the neutrons. If you want more information about this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and help me to reach my goal of 100 subscribers. Then after that, we're gonna go to 1,000 subscribers.